Morning, my lovelies. What it do? What it do? What it do? This is Planet Base, the tree of life, coming in the near future, aka Virgo Networks, the animal planet, aka the daughters of Zion, aka the Virgo goddess, aka that topaz gem coming straight from that spiker star. Okay, I always have a message for you, but it's up to you to discern what I'm trying to say. Remember, I'm just outside looking into your world, see things that you just don't see. Okay, but this here top of the AM, the goddess is feeling good, lovely, and so blessed. Okay, each and every morning I left my window up and I look towards Jerusalem, the real Jerusalem, the celestial realms, just like Daniel did. And I say my prayers and I give praise, glory, and worship to the sovereign Lord of hosts, for he is merciful and worthy to be praised. He's driving many of y'all off the land. He's giving me the land, me the inheritance, aka reparations. Wherever I'm at, that's where my land is and my reparations should be, okay? If you woke up this morning, you need to give praise, glory, and worship to the sovereign Lord of hosts, because each and every day that you wake up is a fresh new day and clean page for you to get some salvation for yourself, so you can be redeemed from his judgment and everlasting condemnation. And always remember, each and every day that you wake up is God's grace, mercy, and sovereignty on you. It should never ever to be taken for granted, because it can and will run out soon, okay? But top of the AM, we're going to get right into this. The name of this is called Preparations, Being a Household Name, okay? What is preparations? Actions, plans, arrangements made to get ready for a future event or purpose. A household name, a person or thing that is well known by the public, okay? Depending on what it is to you and to me, okay, and to each individual, okay? Let me just say this. It's a lot of people, let me start with this first. Before I even get to that, I had seen a rematch between Brian Tinsley and Mike Lowry, okay? I seen the rematch, right? And let me just say this, and this ties into the preparations of being a household name. Let me just say this, what a lot of people fail to realize about this, and this is also $1 million worth of game, okay? Mike Lowry is a household name, okay? A household name. He called the shots, okay? And when you're the household name, you can lose and still win, because he's the household name. He the nigga everybody checking for, okay? That's what it is. Excuse me. With that, he's the household name, okay? So although to the hood and to what it looks like, he lost, okay, but guess what? He's the household name. You stepping into his domain, okay? So when you step into his domain and he's the household name, it's all on his terms, his conditions, his time. That's the beauty in being a household name, okay? In order for you to be the household name, you gotta hit preparations, okay? It's all in preparations. You hit steps that you have to take, and things that you live by, and things that you actively do, and be proactive, because remember, preparations cause actions and plans, okay? So therefore, it's actions and plans to be in this household name and to be this shot caller, okay? That's what it is with that. Now, this whole thing with Brian Tinsley, he prepared for it, his rematch. Okay, he was in preparations for this. But see, Brian Tinsley wanted to battle the household name. He wanted to take the crown off the household name's head, which is Mike Lowry, and put it on his head as the household name. Mike Lowry like, nah, man, this ain't that. This ain't that. This definitely ain't that, okay? So it basically was what it was, okay? Now, do I feel like Brian Tinsley feels some type of way? Absolutely, because not only he prepared to take the crown off the household name's head and put it on his head, okay, but he also felt like he was denied and extorted from his winnings and his earnings, okay. That'll do something to you, okay, because he really didn't lose, okay, but it was the household name, okay. And when you battle the household name, you got to take that L. You got to hold that L. You got to hold that L when you battle in the household name. You only allowed to go and get so far when you going up against the household name. That's just like a lot of people call themselves trying to go against me because I ordered out judgment, everlasting condemnation against they homie. And guess what? And they call themselves trying to threaten me. I'm a household name, sweetie. I can lose and still win. You're going to get a physical death and a spiritual death, okay? I'm going to win either way. I'm going to come out on top because I'm the household name. Whatever that is to me. See, everybody has the right to become great and become who they are. However, it takes preparations, okay? A lifelong commitment and dedication, okay? And another thing is this: when you become a household name, you draw in a lot of peasants that's going to try to come for the throne, okay? That's what it is with that, okay? But you got to withstand and remain in power, your power, whatever that is to you, okay? That's what it is with that, okay? Another thing is this: I'm seeing a lot of preppers, a lot of doomsday preppers on my page. They call themselves Armies of Allah. They call themselves all these names. But guess what? They not really prepared. They talk that talk, but they not ready. You want to know why they not ready? Because their minds isn't right. They still entertaining garbage, okay? They still drinking and drugging. That's another thing. When you out here preparing to be great and you out here preparing to defeat and win victory, you can't be out here drinking and drugging and all that. You can't be out here doing all that, okay? You can't. You gotta already be ready, okay? Because when you already ready, you don't have to get ready. If you have to get ready, you just simply gonna have to lose and hold this L, okay? That's just how it goes with that, okay? But a lot of people ain't simply ready. With me, I've been in position way before the pandemic, okay? Way before the pandemic, I was already in position and prepared, okay? Getting prepared, okay? I had to follow the steps, the protocol and the steps for me to be in my position and to remain in power, okay? And remain in my slot and in my spot, which is the goddess, okay? And remain my household name. Jacob is a household name, okay? I'm a household name, okay? And hold high ranking, especially in the religious sector, okay, with the so-called Jews, okay, and their salvation and stuff like that. So I play around with that there. So yes, I'm a household name, okay? I got my own stuff going on. That's why I encourage people to be more of leaders than followers. Stop hopping on somebody else's coattail and motion and create your own motion. Get your own lane. Create your own motion. You dig what I'm saying? Because when you have your own motion, you become your household name. Then that's when people gonna try to come see you. That's when you control the narrative. But when you going after the household name like me, Mike Larry and all that, we control the narrative, okay? And that's what it is with that, okay? Mike Larry controlled the narrative at any cost. He lost and he still won, okay? Because he took that belt by any means necessary. He made sure he ain't slip. And I saw the slip, okay? And I saw the hugging and all that he was doing. He was doing a little bit too much, but guess what? He's the household name. He can do that, okay? That's just like Clarissa Shields, okay? Clarissa Shields is a household name. Her household name is the GWOAT, okay? She calls the shots, okay? It is what it is. That's why you got to get your own motion, okay? Because when you start being on somebody's coattail, you become the peasant, okay? And that is what it is with that. But anywho, I'm about to get on out of here, man. It's that Spica Star, the brightest star of the constellation. Preparations and being a household name. Everybody wants to be great. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to be redeemed, but don't nobody wants to follow the protocol. Don't nobody want to put the work in. You got to put work in. You don't work, you don't eat, okay? And it depends on which lane you into that you playing around in, okay? That is what it is with that, okay? Either way you look at it, you got to put the work in to become a household name, okay? You got to be the household name. That way if somebody want to battle you, guess what? It's on your terms, your conditions, you call the shots, okay? But when you on somebody else's coat, when you on somebody else's time, okay, and somebody else's household name, you ain't going to get that off. You can win in your own head, but guess what? They won because they the household name. They got a brand. I'm Jacob. Jacob is the brand. That's the logo. That's the household name everybody wants to be like. That's why a lot of people calling themselves Jacob amongst the religious field, but they can't because they can't be like me because I'm out here fighting. I'm out here on a battlefield, okay? I'm doing what they can't do, okay? Part of the thing is this, you need faith. Without faith, okay, you ain't going to accomplish nothing without faith, okay? And that's the same thing with these preppers and all that, okay? Without proper faith, they not going to accomplish anything. They out here letting the devil trick them out they spot. They out here drinking and drugging, being distracted and being influenced instead of standing on business. They not going to win the war. And lastly, they not even taking their vitamins, okay? The war is against starvation. They starving, okay? They can't even fight that war, and the war is in your mind. You got to program your mind first. If you can't program your mind, you finish. Anyways, that Spica Star, the brightest star of the constellation. Hey, listen, man. It's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. The sovereign Lord going to bring down his kingdom upon a new earth, and I should dwell there forevermore, okay? You should repent for your filthy sins so you could become part of this new heaven and the new earth. Also, is the regathering coming up, okay? It's going to be the regathering, the countdown before the ending of exile. Also, he cut the heads of Leviathan, okay? I hope to see you there. Repent for your filthy sins. Hopefully, I see you there. I'm out.